when you meet someone, you want to make someone your significant other, and that time you get attracted or infatuated. So at that time you don't take the decision that okay, let me marry that particular girl or boy. You take your time to understand them, and to see that this is a attraction period, or this is something which where I can commit. So I think this is the same process I followed for this. I hope this analogy was
That's a really
was
good. That's a really good analogy. From Unboxing Stories, this is Himalayan Diaries. I'm your host Ojas. In the world of trekking, where courage meets both physical and mental strength, our guest today stands a living example of these qualities. Meet Rahul Paul, an accomplished trek leader who has completed over 40 treks in the Himalayas and numerous hikes across India. For Rahul, trekking isn't just a physical journey, it's a path to inner discovery, disconnecting from the outside world and connecting to the inner world, he says. Today we'll dive into what this means and much more. Welcome, Rahul, to Himalayan Diaries, and thank you for taking out this time.
thank you, Ojas, for such a heartwarming introduction. You have been very modest to introduce me in such a humble way. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to this podcast. And I know this is a new endeavor for you also, and
Mhm.
I want to wish you all the best for this. And
Thank you.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask one question before we start everything. You might find it difficult to answer. You can choose not to answer. Are you a mountain person or a beach person?
See, this is very much clear or very much easy for me. I've never been to the beach,
Oh,
so
really?
practically yes. So mountains, but I can farsightedly see that, and myself I can always imagine myself as a mountain person only.
You have
Yes.
done 40 treks, so that's a testament for that. What's going on? Where are you? Are you coming from a trek or you're going to a trek or what's happening?
So currently, I have just finished one trek, which is Dayara Bugyal. It's in Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand, India, and I have come back from that trek before 2024 started, and now I am in a training, a sort of training in a Bangalore, where India Hikes head office is there, and I will be going on trek. I think after 1 month, so it's a good place to be in, where I am outside trek and will be exploring little bit of city life. Otherwise, most of the time I have been living in mountains, exploring their culture, exploring the mountains, the mystical power of the mountains, impacting others' life, trekking. This is how it is going right now.
Okay, okay. So where did you celebrate your New Year? You were in the mountains or you were in Bangalore?
I was in mountains only. I was in the same trek, Dara Bugyal. But yes, I was not leading. Many a times, what happens as a trek leader, we are taking many trekkers. So in a group, maybe 20 to 25 trekkers. A lot of time it gets extremely difficult to take out time for yourself, because as a trek leader, it is very much important that first of all, I am enjoying that particular process of going on a trek, or I am finding meaning in going trek. That should excite me. Otherwise, it might not happen for the participants who are coming with. I was on a trek, but all by myself. So it was a great time to reflect, because every year, by the end of every year, I reflect on what were the good parts, highlights, or more so what did not went right as per my perspective, and then how can I go forward in the coming year. It is not a resolution sort of thing, but it's a part of process where I reflect on. So it was very insightful, reflective, very isolated New Year for me.
I think that's a really nice way to spend your New Year. Amazing. I talked about what you are currently doing. I said that you are trek leader and you have led 40 plus treks. But I'm interested to know how it all started. We can go back to your school days. Where are you from? Your parents and everything.
Basically, I am from New Delhi and born and brought up. Everything, schooling, my office, my training, everything has been there. I have studied chartered accountancy course. I am a CA by profession, and to be honest, this was not something which I have dreamt of since my school days or my training also, because this is very very different, I would say. Means a major shift from a particular sector which you are working, and now coming to the outdoors. It was a major shift. I can recall where it exactly started.
How were you in school? Why did you choose chartered accountancy?
I was a average, above average student, and one of the reason I would say it might sound controversial, but there was a norm that if you have chosen commerce and you have passed out from a commerce background, one of the major thing a person can do is a CA, chartered accountancy course, and the major reason is there are a lot of money in that. And MBA is also there, but I think a CA seemingly sounded much more lucrative to me at that point, with less information, less data about it. And
Mhm.
to be honest, I did not had proper research about it. And why should I choose this course? Because I joined it just after 12. I gave the entrance exam. One of the major reason my friend was giving this, and I just accompanied him. I think many of the students make this mistake, I would say, to not thought through the process which they want to go through
Mhm.
and choose a course for.
Okay, yeah, sorry to interrupt you. You can continue.
Yes, though the journey of the CA has been very, uh, I would say, in a learning way, and very rewarding, because I worked with a government sector where I was working as project associate in Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It comes under Ministry of Corporate Affairs, so
Oh,
it was
wow.
quite a lucrative also, and it connected with my way of working, where I wanted to work in an academic field. So it was a research domain. Majorly we were reading, we were making reports, and it was quite an interesting job. But at times I hit the saturation point, and I wanted to go on a trek. Earlier I have been into trek. My introduction of trekking was also not that great. I would like to share that also. But
Yeah,
before that,
you can start with that. Where what was the first introduction?
first introduction was in 2017. I was in my training period of it is known as CA articleship. So
Mhm.
that time, my friend who used to go for trekking, he asked me, "Let's go for a trek," and I was not even aware what a trek means. It was just like he said, "Ki there are mountains and there are good views, there are good camping. You will be staying there. We are going to stay there at night, and we have to go, and we will be walking." So I thought, normally we will walk, and then maybe majority of the part we will be driving, or walking will be just very less. I was not fully aware of it, and being from Delhi, one of the common treks are Triund. It's in McLeodganj, Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
So we selected that, and he just booked the tickets. He just booked the tickets of bus. He just booked the ticket from the local guide, and it was I think holiday of Independence Day, 13th, 14th, 15th August.
Mhm.
So we started the journey, but I was not even aware of the gears first of all. Though I remember, I just trekked in normal formal pant, formal shoes. Then on the halfway, I changed into my sports shoes. That time also, the path was rocky and it was hurting. I had polythene in my one hand, a normal laptop bag in my backpack. It was quite funny. People who were trekking also, they were saying, "Ki, why? What is this person? Who is this clown who is coming here?" So it was very very funny for me. And on top of that, to make it worse, when we reached the campsite, there is only one campsite. You go there and next day you come back. It rained like anything, because it was monsoon, August period. It was monsoon, and it was raining so heavily that practically everything was wet. Even when we were sleeping in the sleeping tent, that for the first time person, even on a multi-day Himalayan trek, it gets time to adjust to sleeping tent, sleeping bags, all of those things.
Mhm.
So पहले तो वही मुश्किल था. उसके
Mhm.
बाद when we saw that everything is drenched in water, it made it more worse. We were feeling cold, we were wet, and I just cursed my friend ki why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I have paid for this, and on top of that, I have to walk only. I have to. I am also drenched in. What is the fun? The major thing was ki, okay, there is a holiday and we are going to have fun. We are going to see mountains. Nothing happened. I'm feeling cold. I'm shivering. I am wet. So that was the first. I thought I will not do the trek again. I think many of the things you can also relate, or
Yeah,
our listeners who have done one time trekking or who are about to trek, they most probably they might experience this.
yeah, yeah. And how did the perspective change then? What happened next?
The perspective was even though there were a lot of difficulties, but one thing which strongly came out was you cannot back out. Suppose in city you are walking 5 kilometers walk kar liya. Then at a certain point, if you are tired, you can take some vehicle, you can take public vehicle, metro, or you can just sit nearby some chair, some pavement. But here you have to push yourself. You know that you are very much tired, but
Mhm.
you cannot go back at that point of time. So I thought in that process there was some resilience which I've built, and that was used in my CA course, because you need a lot of patience in that. You need a lot of resilience in that. At times you don't want to study,
Mhm.
so that helped. So I thought, ki, okay, why not after giving exams, let me go. After becoming CA, let me go. So I went to one trek, Khir Ganga, when I was again preparing, and I've just given my exams. It was in May 2019.
Okay.
So fortunately I was not able to clear that exam, that attempt. But I went on track, and again that reinforced my belief. Okay, this felt good. Means after that, and there is a there's a natural alignment with the outdoors for me. So it came like that. But then again I went back to studies, and I cleared my exam, and I joined ICI for my job. And after that, 2021, 2020 was not a good year, obviously, for the COVID. A lot of us has suffered with so many things.
Mhm.
So after hitting saturation point, I went for a trek. So this was a planned trek, Nag Tibba. It's in Missouri, Missouri and Uttarakhand. So that time, I went with an aim ki, okay, let us start New Year in a good note, going to the mountains, spending time with myself, my friends. And that time it was again, I would say, as a person, I was again a lot of egoistic and an arrogant person. What I would like to say about this, and when you come from a background where you have achieved something materialistic, in uh, in physical realm. Suppose okay, I have become a CA at a young age. I cleared my CA in 23 years of age. So that was there, and on top of that, okay, now I have a government job also. So life is sorted, and I have achieved something in terms of material. So it easily gets on your head, and you think ki, I know many things. And in that time, if someone tells you that, okay, do something like this, do this in certain way, so generally you don't hear, because you think you know. So that time also, even though I went for Nagti Trek, which is just 2 day trek, but
Yeah.
I did not heard any of my friends who were telling, "Hey, please a little bit work on your fitness, or maybe pack some more clothes because you are going in January. It will be cold. Take some medicines. Take some extra water bottles." These are
Mhm.
basic things. But I was like, okay, this is just 2 day trek. What will happen? What can go wrong? At max, what can go wrong? But when I went there, the first day was only like so hectic. The driving from Dehradun to Mussoorie, then to the base camp of Nagtibba trek, and then trekking and reaching late evening, and not getting proper rest. Though the health was like deteriorating. I was there in the campsite, first campsite, but my health was not good, because of non acclimatization, most probably. And I was hit by AMS, acute mountain sickness. And that I can say right now, that time I have understood what acute mountain sickness is. So on top of that, next day was a summit day in Nagtibbat. So you already know that summit days generally starts quite early,
Yes.
3 a.m., 4 a.m. That is exactly what happened. I was not able to get proper rest. The weather was also cold, and we had to start by 3:30 a.m. We started from there, and after starting the trek, I was not able to complete the trek, and half the way, I would not say even half the way, one third of the way, I was fully tired. Even taking one or two steps was getting difficult for me. And due to that, many of the people who were with me, they completed the trek, but I was not able to complete the trek and had to come back. That was, I think,
Oh,
the most helpless I have ever felt in my life. And
oh,
the main reason was I was too much into my head, and it was very difficult for me to accept ki how can I fail in this particular thing. And when I came back, there was first introduction for from India Hikes, and I saw that there was a proper tent there, and even they had a campsite. And I saw the trekkers who were coming. Each and every trekker completed the trek. They were coming back from the summit, and they were quite happy, and they were quite organized also. So at that time, I was obviously first of all reflecting. I was self-attacking myself. Ki, how can I be in this situation? What went wrong? What is this? ये सब चीजें.
mhm.
But when I saw India Hikes campsite and India Hikes people who are coming, and I was like, "Hey, how are they so happy? Everyone did summit. Everyone has proper eco bags and proper formation, proper trekking gears also. Like
Mhm.
this is something different I've not seen." And one of the major thing which I saw there, there was a trek leader.
Okay.
So what my impression of trekking was, you go to a base camp and then you take a guide, a local guide who knows about the place. So they will take you, they will provide you food, camping, and then you can come back. But here I saw a person who is a leader in a particular group, who is from outside. He is not the local people. So I thought, okay, matlab this is something different. So I
Mhm.
talked to that person also. So this was Dushyant Sharma, if you know. He's the former trek leader of India X, and he has a lot of videos also in our YouTube and website.
I think I have
So
met
I
him
talked.
when I went to Hamta Pass. In the base
Mhm.
camp, I met him once. Yeah, he's nice. He's a nice person.
Yes, yes.
Very
Very
experienced.
transparent, very helpful. Even if a person is not trekking with India X, he will be more than happy to put out his foot for them. Anyways, coming to that, it was a short talk, and I thought ki okay, this is also something where we can explore our career. So he said ki ha, you can do it, but it's not that it's all lucrative. It's all a rosy ki ha, you are coming here and you are just roaming, you are just traveling. It's not. There's a larger picture. So you can come back for a trek, and then you can talk to the trek leaders to know more about it, because it was a short trek and he was also having a lot of responsibilities. That trek ended and I came back home. But the thought of not completing the trek, it was just like you give an exam and you uh, failed in that exam, and then you come back and you reflect ki what went wrong. And while reflecting, you can understand that more than outside factors, there were things which I could have done, but I did not. I have not done because of my carelessness. And
Mhm.
most of the things I have realized at that time कि ठीक है मेरी ही गलती थी. I was not prepared. I was not prepared in terms of my fitness, not prepared in terms of my gears, nothing. So all of these came into my mind. And then when I prepared for the trek, next time, so I wanted to go with India. So
Okay.
at that time, I saw the dates and proper fitness plan was there. If you want to go for a trek, this is a proper plan to run 5 kilometers. These are the strengthening exercises. These are the things. I was very new because I have never played any proper games, or I have never been athletic throughout my life. I have been into academics, a nerdy kind of person who was into books and all. So this was very new for me. So I started running. I started preparing with that aggression, I would say, channelizing your aggression in the right way, because I was very angry with myself. Hey, how can this be possible? I'm not able to do. There are a lot of trekkers or lot of friends I have seen, the same trek they have done in jeans. Like I was like very much confused कि अरे ऐसे कैसे हो गया, मतलब I was wearing also सब कुछ था, कैसे हो गया. So I prepared for my
Mhm.
fitness, and then I went and did the trek with Index within one and a half. And this was in February 2021.
Okay.
I did first trek with Index, and that time also there was a female trek leader with me. I was also then amazed. Ki, okay, there are the opportunity is like great, because a female trek leader is also here, and I think that is much more difficult for them. A lot of things which we as a male might not suffer, or we might not get in outdoors, they face double of it. So I was very much curious to know that how her journey has been, and I'm looking towards building some career in outdoors. I'm very much unsure what it is, but I want to work in outdoors also. So she said the same thing, ki Rahul, just find your why. This was the simple question she asked. I know this is very lucrative. You are traveling from different places. You are living in mountains. You are living very sorted, simple life. Practically, you are trekking, meeting new people. But what is your why? The main
Or
question she
why?
asked, what is your why about trekking? Means why do you want to trek first of all? Why do you want to trek leading? Because coming as a trekker means you are responsible for yourself. But coming as a trek leader means you are responsible for the 20-25 people. So that was her main question, and I was clueless because I never thought about the perspective. Then again, I did my trek next time, and I think that trek, Nag Tibet trek, that changed first of all the perspective, because after reaching summit, it was like, mm, a baggage was on my shoulder, and I have just put it, because the baggage of not completing that trek because of my own mistakes. That was so relieving. And
So you did the same trek, Nag Tibba, and this time you completed it.
correct. First time I did it in January 2021, which I was not able to complete. Then I prepared and came with India hikes in February. I think it was late February, and then I completed it.
I can see a parallel between your educational journey and your hiking journey. You attempted CA, you didn't crack it. You prepared well,
Uh,
and you cracked the CA for the second time with more enthusiasm and more energy. And similarly, in your trekking journey, the first one were not able to complete, and the second one. So I think what we can see here is no matter the profession, if you put in maximum efforts to achieve what you want, I think you will achieve it. So it's really inspiring.
Thank you. I think one of the greatest lesson also which I learned from here, that sometimes we are afraid of failure. This is very simple thing, but we are afraid of failure because we think it might end everything and there is no other way out. But I think one of the thing is, a failure definition of failure can be different for different person. I'm not denying it, but if I look from my perspective, it was more after failing at a certain thing, I was able to value the when I succeeded or when I was able to do that, because that time it was valuable. I knew the value of that particular thing or particular aspect of achieving it, because I know the feeling of not having it. I think that was breakthrough learning for me.
And
So
after this, you joined as a trek leader, or what happened after this?
huh. So after that, my main motive was, now the question was put in my head, that why. The main thing, you want to do track leading, okay, please come, you can do that. Many a times maybe you have also seen, we have a DIY, do it yourself day, where we make trackers track leaders.
Yes.
This is a concept which we sometimes use to impart the learnings of tracking. So we have seen, even if you uh, go through one day where you give a responsibility to some person, they are also able to do that for the one time. Maybe they will do the second time also, or you put them with the training. This is a formal training, you can become also a track leader. This is also in place. We can make you a track leader, but unless and until you have your own reason of doing it, your own why, I think you will not be able to justify it properly. That is what I got from the interaction with the track lead. Otherwise, you are just taking some particular set of group to point A to point B and then bringing them back. That was clear. So to search this why, particular why, that okay, if I want to go move forward in this direction, what is that why for me? So for that, the better answer was ki I do more treks and more treks with India hikes, because I want to join the organization. One why will be that I will be able to closely observe the organization, that the values which they are following at that time, or value, the things they are talking, are those fictitious things, or are they actually in practice? Because sometimes as a trekker I might see something, as a person who is working there it might be different. It is very much possible. So I started doing the trek, and most of the trek I was going for the solo trek. Though I used to make friends on the go, and major conversation with was with my trek leaders. and guides and kitchen staff, because I wanted to understand more about India hikes. At that time, when I was trekking, and one incident happened in Kuari Pass. Kuari Pass I did in December 2021 for a winter trek, experience of winter trek.
Where is Guari Pass?
The Kuari Pass is in Joshimath, Uttarakhand.
Okay.
It's a 4 day trek. It's easy moderate. Generally, people do it in winter because you get a good amount of snow with the good Gadwal Himalayan views. So I was doing it as a trekker in 2021, late December. And when I came in that trek with India Hikes, one of the major thing which I observed in myself was when I was talking with the fellow trek mates, because I was going solo, as I said. So it was a lot of opportunity to make new friends for me, new friends or sharing perspectives. And when I was doing it, and in that process, I learned that it was some way impacting someone, or I am sharing some perspective, and that they were finding it useful. Maybe you are going through some problem and you just shared, This is something I'm stuck." And sharing the perspective from different angles helped them a lot. Even after going after from that track, it stayed with them, and they were like, "Is Rahul, you said something on something like that," and that helped me to take a certain type of decision. And that felt really nice. That okay, maybe just having small talk with someone or just sharing my perspective, it was very much helpful. And in Kuari Pass, one of the major incident which happened, there was one lady who was not, I would say, that much fit in terms of going to the summit, uh, in terms of keeping up with the pace with the entire team. So we started the day, and she was very much apprehensive that this trek might not be completed by her. And one of the reason why she was emotional at one point, and she was telling that this might be my first and last trek, because she worked a lot, and we she was able to come on this trek after so many years, and this was only one chance for her to have a successful trek, and she did not wanted it to go unfinished. And
Okay.
this was on the summit day, and she started seeing that people are walking and people are moving ahead. Some people are about to reach the summit, and she is maybe halfway, till the halfway, and she was said, okay, there is no point. By the time they will come, I might not even reach summit, and track leader will tell ki, okay, the time is over, now we can go back.
Okay.
So I was with her, and told me, "Ki, Rahul, you also go. Please don't miss your summit because of me." Because I was encouraging her, and I told her, It's okay. I know how it feels to not complete a track, because I have this reference of Nakti." But
Mm-hmm.
I told her, Ki, "It's okay, no problem. We will collectively do this trek, because if I go, you will lose all the motivation, or there will be no one with you, and practically you will move back from here. So let us take it micro steps. Let us take it slowly, and let us see how far we can go from here." And she was like, "Ki, Chalo, theek hai. Let's start going." So miraculously, the weather was quite nice that day. By the time we reached summit, so we slowly moving, and we reached the top. We reached the Kuari Pass,
Wow.
and when I saw her, she like sobbed like anything, because as if she has achieved something in her life which she was not able to achieve, and she was somewhere in her early 40s. And
Mm-hmm.
she hugged me, she thanked me, she told, "This is something very precious, which no one can gift me, or no one can give me. With the help of you, or with the help of myself, my courage, collectively everything worked, and I was able to reach there, even while we were having our debriefing." So debriefing is a method by which you close a particular track. I am sharing this for the audience who are listening. So while debriefing, also by the end of this trek, she was also sharing her experience, and she was also talking about this process where the motivation, external motivation, helped her a lot. So that time it struck me that by my presence, or by my particular way of sharing perspective, or maybe motivating others, it was adding some value in the life of others. And it connected with the part where since childhood I wanted to work in a particular area where which is academically related, or I am working towards something which can add value to the larger cause. But this was very vague. It is not related to trek leading, But at that time it just stuck. When I came back from the trek, or I was traveling from the base camp to Dehradun or Rishikesh.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time I was thinking, see, this is something which I am practicing as a value. Ki how can I enrich the lives of others through maybe academics, through teaching, all of those things. At the same time, this trek leading, I want to become a trek leader. So this is also a platform where I will have an opportunity to impact lives of maybe 20-25 people. As a trekker I am coming, and I am able to create that impact, possible impact, by
Mm-hmm.
my presence. How great it would be if I become a trek leader, where I will be in a position to impact or influence the lives of others in a positive way. So, because I have 20-25 people, and a trek leader is a person who a lot of trekkers, first time trekkers, they look up to as a person who can guide them, who can tell them what to do and how to navigate through the experience. Because a trek leader has done a trek in a lot of times, but a first time trekker is a lot scared of what will happen, how will I be able to sustain the cold, how will be the weather, how will be the terrain. So at that time, if I am able to become a trek leader and have that particular platform, so that can work great. And this why just stuck me and gave me goosebumps. Ki, bhai, this is something which I was searching for. So this was my particular why, which I searched from there, and then I formally did one particular program. In India, is we have experiential learning programs where we have particular goal, particular areas where from a specialized track where we do. Suppose when you come for a normal track may you don't have any particular objective per se. Suppose you want to learn some leadership skills, management skills. These are not there. You majorly come here to have fun and learn the trekking skills, and on the go you have some experience which can particularly transform you or maybe affect your mind body soul. But a specialized program is suppose a stargazing trek or collaborative leadership program where you learn more about management, where you learn more about leadership, where you learn more about conflict resolution, all of those things. So
Okay.
I thought this is the step up also for me. I have done normal treks with India. Now let me do a particular open CLP. So this is open collaborative leadership program. We run a program with IIMs also, IIM or other B schools. But that time, the first time, this was open for the people who want to uh, l- take the learnings from outdoors and apply in their particular office lifestyle, professional lifestyle. So I also joined, and my major why was I want to join India Hikes, and this is the reason why am I joining this. Because they asked us, how are you going to apply the learnings from this in your role to manage any team in corporate life, anything. So I joined that, and through that particular program, I gained so much confidence about my particular why.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the time which made me like confident that okay, I can now apply. I have done treks with India X also, and now I can go forward. So this was particular. I did my basic mountaineering course also after that, and I joined in 2022, July 2022.
And among all this, you left your CA job because it's a government job. It's a precious job. How hard was that decision? And when did you leave? So before you did the mountaineering course, or?
Okay, that's a really nice question, huh? I was about to cover that also. Because see, this decision. Obviously, I was able to find my why, and I was doing my trekking also to understand the organization. But there are practical aspects also. You just cannot go one day and say this was my passion, and now let's start it and let's just go forward, leaving everything. You have a lot of things to sort out. So I understood it during my initial days of CA work. Since the time I wanted to become a track leader. So there was a particular system process I followed. He let us see the things which I will be compromising, or what are the things which will be affecting my particular lifestyle if I become a track leader. Because see, nothing comes free. If you are getting into something, you are paying a particular cost for that. That is very true.
Mhm.
So I saw, if I become a trek leader, these are the perks of being a trek leader. There's a certain lifestyle I'm going to live. So what are the areas that is going to be affected? First was major financial, because practically if I'm whatever I am earning in CA, I am going to get less than that in an outdoor field. That was for sure. Second was my compromise on the relationships, my family. I will be staying away from the family. I will be staying away from my near and dear ones. These are the things. Third one was how do I see myself growing forward? When you are doing an established job as a CA or you are working with a government organization, it's very much easy to see yourself growing or a trajectory where you want to move forward. But
Hmm.
here, the particular field which is growing in India, so how do you see yourself? Is it just a emotion you are going through? कि अच्छा एक महीना किया 2 महीना किया then it will wean off so you will come back, or this is something which you want to go and take for the substantial period. So this was the model I used for 1.5 year along with doing the treks. He Rahul, this is something which you because see sometimes just giving an analogy, when you meet someone, you want to make someone your significant other, and that time you get attracted or infatuated. So at that time you don't take the decision that okay, let me marry that particular girl or boy. You take your time to understand them and to see that this is a attraction period or this is something which where I can commit. So I think this is the same process I followed for this. I hope this analogy was
That's a really
was
good. That's a really good analogy.
yes. This was the process I followed, and I was practically okay with that because the amount of skills I am learning here or amount of skills I have learned here, that has actually overweighted all the things which I had left. Because I think now going forward, there is a lot of opportunities in front of me in terms of a particular thing which can be done. Coming back to it, that is going forward wala thing, but these things helped me to take a decision that let me leave my CA job. And during this particular 1.5 years, I would say 1.5, 1.3 years, I sorted my finances. I built a corpus so that even if I am not earning that well, or even if I'm not earning any money, suppose whatever happens due to uncertainty, I'm about to leave my job, so I have a certain corpus where I'm not worried about my financials. I have a contingency fund in front of me, and I can work it out while having it.
I think this is where it helped that you were a CA because you knew how to manage finances. If someone who was not in the financial field would have decided, they wouldn't have thought in this manner. That is really good.
Yes, I think that is a privilege, I would say, for me. And I think if we are switching something like that, we are going very extreme in terms of choosing some particular field. I think this helps to think through practical aspect because you cannot just start doing something out of passion. I think that is not a sustainable way to go ahead. That is what I felt.
And among all this, what was the reaction of parents? I know you
That
told
is
me that your father is a aeronautical engineer. He was working for some time in Air India, you told me.
correct.
What was their reaction? Because it's a drastic change. Air India is also, I think, semi-government job, and you were also leaving a government job.
To be honest, it was very difficult. It still is. I would not say my parents are fully acceptable towards myself working in outdoors because doing a CA as a parent, if you look from that perspective, they have also invested a lot of time, energy, money on educating me. And after that, I have worked also somewhere. I worked in the government sector. I have also worked worked substantially for two years. So from there only, I was growing. I was getting good, but abruptly leaving and then doing it, they also got very much confused. Ki why? What happened? Why are you doing it? For them it was very difficult to understand or also to tell to the friends or society that the question has been asked now, why what your son is doing now. He has done CA but he does not live here.
But I think that would have changed. I saw one of your Instagram posts that when you took your mother for a trek as a trek leader, what was that experience? Because it's such a special thing. It's it's like what they call in corporate taking your parents to the office, but the mountains are your office and you are taking them to your work where they will enjoy and you will enjoy spending time with them. How was that experience and did that help to change their perspective?
Yes, very much. I was coming to that only. uh, Looking at this perspective from them, I made my mother come on a trek. First of all, so I requested her ki, see, I know this is very difficult, and I cannot make them understand, but by just saying, I am a trek leader, and I go on a trek, taking a particular team on a trek, doing this, they will not particularly get it. So what I made sure I prepared, make sure my mother got prepared, physically prepared for that trek, and I asked her to come on a trek which is just one day. Like you have to go at a certain camp and come back. It was Devrita Chandrashila trek. So I went with majorly two objectives. First of all, though, to make her come to the base camp and going on a trek itself, to understand the process or understand the particular work I do, that how I live there, how what I eat, how what type of particular work I do. This was mainly that. Second objective was I wanted her to introduce to the outdoors. They are trekking, the impact of trekking, looking at the mountains, looking at the lifestyle of the local village people, like how they are living, all of those things. So she diligently practiced everything, and after that, during this year only, not this year, 2023, uh, February 2023, I made her come to Sari village, which is again in Uttarakhand.
Mhm.
From there, a trek starts, which is Devrital Chandrashila. So Devrital Chandrashila is combination of two treks, Sari to Devrital, and then again Chopta to Tungnath. This is one of the Panch Kedar of Uttarakhand.
Okay.
So I took it from Sari to Devrital, which was around 2.5 kilometers. So going there and coming back, it was more or less 5 kilometers. And I did everything what a trek leader does to make her feel comfortable, to motivate her, to check her vitals, to make sure she is safety. We have proper backup, proper gear she was using. She was using trek pole. She was wearing trekking shoes. I've never seen her except in sari. I was always wearing sari, but first time I saw her having the trekking pants, proper trekking gears. So it was very special. And when we reached the summit, not the summit, when we reached the Devrital, that was only summit. She again felt very special. She started crying also. She was sitting there and just gazing in the mountains, and she was like, "Okay, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here only." But it was getting dark. We came back. So this itself was so special. See, as a child, it is very difficult to see your parents crying. But at that moment, I was sort of happy to see tears in her eyes, because I knew that was very special. That was coming from very special part of her heart, and that was something which actually changed. That okay, now she can confidently tell, My son works somewhere, works here, and it's a good organization. It is a good place to be in. Good, particularly good food they get, good sleep they get, because see, these are the things which parents are worried of. They will not go on deep. They will only ask, have you eaten food, or are you sleeping well, are you health wise, are you doing good? So I think this was the major shift in the perspective of my parents.
That's really amazing and touching. I can definitely relate to the part where your mother keeps asking you, did you have your lunch? Did you have your dinner? Did you sleep well? Is your health okay? All right. Thank you, Rahul. This brings us to the end of part 1 of our conversation. We will get some rest, drink some water, and continue on the trail with Rahul in part 2. You can follow Rahul on Instagram. His profile is full of stories and beautiful pictures from the mountains. The link is in the description. Thanks for joining us on Himalayan Diaries from Unboxing Stories. I'm your host Ojas. Together with Shivam Hasurkar, we are the creators of Unboxing Stories. Remember, every step in the mountains tells a story, and we are here to bring them to you. If you are inspired to start your own trekking adventure, please remember that these are not just leisure activities, but true adventure sports. It's crucial to learn, prepare, and take all necessary safety measures before embarking on your journey. Your safety is as important as your adventure. If you have enjoyed this episode, do share it with your friends and family. Please make sure to follow us and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. Tune in next time as we continue to unbox more stories from the Himalayan Diaries. Until then, keep moving forward.